Hi everyone and every pony, welcome back. We are on part 13 of chapter 4. I know a lot of you were commenting this morning saying, oh, that's awesome, we want more. And don't worry, I'm going to give you more. And also another new shout out. He's already commented, I just didn't see his name anywhere. I didn't know where to find it because I had so many comments now. But big shout out to Anonymous Chameleon. I've seen you before, I just couldn't find you. And you say Cerbert's your favorite candy? I think I've had Cerbert's before. I just have to like look at it to get a general idea what it was. I just don't remember it very well, but Cerbert does sound really good though, I'm not gonna lie. I grew up around Snickers, I grew up around Sweet Tarts, mainly Hershey's, because Hershey's been around since 1909. That's before all the wars and shit. But yeah, I'm a 90s dude, so yeah, that's cool. I like Cerbert's. You like Cerbert's? That's pretty cool, man. You're gonna have to like send me a picture or something. Someone send me a picture. You know what? I'm gonna look it up. It's that easy. I'm just gonna look it up. Darkfire Pony 3, Vinyl is Best Pony, Temp is Very Twist, Forsaken Paladin 616, Your Princess Moonbutt, and of course Forrest McGilvray for reading the story, and the story is by Xeno Pony. Thank you guys so much for like commenting. It means so much that you guys are just commenting the videos. And without further ado, let's shit our pants. Oh! Kind of started without you. Sorry about that. No, I'm joking. That would have been really awkward. And also, before we begin, real quick, let me know in the comment box what you would be in the My Little Pony universe. Would you be a Centaur, Draconequus? I don't know if I said that right, but you know, Discord. Or, you know, would you be an Alicorn, Earth Pony, Unicorn, Pegasus? Let me know. Let me know what you'd be. Or a Griffin. I know Anonymous Chameleon is probably a Griffin, most likely. But anyway, without further ado, let's begin and finish the rest of Chapter 4 of Flicker.
Coat and mane. Her ears twitched and fidgeted like an insect's restless wings, and her skin crawled as if infested with writhing maggots. Then that smell of rot caught her nose, and even in the intense glow of her magic, she saw it. A brief flash of neon blue light paused across the darkness directly ahead. A barbed coil of fear lanced through her. In an instant, she fell silent, tensing so much that she was barely anything more than the petrified stone statues around her. Her horn's glow receded back to only a faint hue as the thing's blue light scurried about the dark hall. It was almost as if it were studying her with a keen intelligence that belied its animalistic nature. Its movements were unsettlingly cautious and calculative, and for a moment a hint of doubt regarding Twilight's assumptions of its instincts bloomed in Starlight's terrified mind. She wasn't...
Yes, Twilight. Give in to the doubt. Join the dark side, Twilight. We have cookies. Well, for me, I'd have candy because I got a bowl of
time
candy
for second thoughts, however,
Oh,
as the thing paused. What she could guess was a few inches from the room's entrance. Whatever was there in the gloom, distinguishable only by the neon blue light that danced like liquid lightning across its sleek form, looked at her with an eyeless stare. A bright frill of magnificent light waved and flickered like the glow of a blissful sunset hitting a tranquil lake, all the while emitting a rattling sound similar to that of desert snakes. The thing shifted, its deadly beauty moving with it. This time, its movements were slow again, as the light pulsing along its invisible body slowed to a deceitfully calm pulse. Despite her fear and the violent shivering that racked her body, Starlight couldn't take her eyes off the vague shape. She strived to peer into it, as if hoping her gaze.
I feel like everybody's being sexually attracted to the light. Sort of like bugs do to the light, you know what I mean? It's like it's just luring them in that way of just its beauty. Like, when just by saying beauty, it's like, I think they're getting hypnotized. It's like imagine a Discord when Discord was trying to hypnotize all the ponies to hate each other, you know what I mean?
Blast away
Not
the
that it's not
darkness
impossible,
and give
but-
her a clear view of the thing beyond a simple flowing pattern of vibrant blue light. Its deadly magnificence almost demanded she do so, calling her like a moth to a flame as it flickered and swam within the pitch darkness.
That's funny.
Then, whatever it was, uttered a distinctively loud hiss, and below the crown of light, something distinctively slimy trailed down from a set of vaguely visible fanged jaws.
No, it didn't.
At that moment, Starlight
lie.
knew one thing.
What you see is a lie, and a lie is what sees you. I'm sorry about that. I got like a notification, but yes, gotta go fast. Fast go gotta.
It was certainly no specter or ghost. It was something very real and tangible, and it was looking right into her with an eyeless stare, unclouded by pity, sympathy, or remorse.
It's like grandma.
She could only see an instinctive drive in the murderous beauty, a pure and flawless desire. Yet, that brief exchange of glares lasted only a second before the thing gave another low growl, and the fan-like frill of rattling spines flared around it. Small bolts of arcane lightning flashed between the glowing spines as they twitched violently, an electrical ting in the air. Then, in a flash of bright blue light and an echoing rattle, the thing darted upwards with a blast of eldritch lightning and vanished into the darkness. Without thought,
What the
Starlight
hell is
staggered
that?
back as the thing magically darted across the other side of the room, blinking from space to space with a formidable grace as its lights began to pulse faster and faster. "Where is it?" Twilight called from the darkness as Applejack erupted into a fit of...
Went on vacation. Went on vacation just to think of how it's gonna kill every single one of you. That's... What is that? I'm trying to literally identify so hard what that is. And I can't come to anything close to any conclusion. This thing is like new entirely. Which is what's so awesome about the perspective of these stories, is when they throw something new in and it has nothing to do with the series, and that's what makes it so good. Because we don't have any conclusion to how to kill it or how to take care of it. And that's what makes it so terrifying. We don't know what that is. And what is it? And why give it the name Walter? Because so far, Walter's being a very, very bad boy. Very bad boy. Killed his Aunt Pinky. How could you do that, Walter? It's not cool, man. I don't know. I don't know what that is.
Curses about messing with something they knew absolutely nothing about. All the while, Starlight's eyes never left the darting light.
Too late for
They
that.
struggled to keep up, but never did the thing escape her sight. Then, with one final blink of magical light, it appeared right beside her, and its shimmering form uncoiled in a blinding flash. "No!" she cried loudly, throwing up her shield as a vibrant blue whip lanced out for her with more ferocity than lightning itself. The force of the rapid strike shattered the magical barrier like glass, yet there was another purple flash, and within a millisecond, Starlight appeared beside Twilight, and the creature's blow tore a deep gash through the stone where she'd stood, like it was no more than paper. With another word, Twilight pulled on the pillar with her magic, and the bright blue glow of Rarity's own enveloped the other end, and the whole thing came down on top of the glowing beast with a loud crash. The monster attempted to dart away, but instead gave a painful shriek as it was pinned in place. That horrific sound rang in every pony's ears as it tore at their minds like a set of rending blades. A bright flash of lightning afforded each of them a glimpse of some large black mass struggling under the rubble. Then it fell back into darkness, and only its vibrant glow illuminated its thrashing attempts to break free. "We did it! We got it!" Twilight declared, lowering her horn. "Now this is for my friends, you monster!" she called, as a bolt of lavender fire lanced out and struck the mass of struggling light. "Wait, Twilight,
Burn it with
we don't—"
fire.
Applejack called from somewhere within the gloom, but it was all too late. The magical bolt struck the creature, evident by the thing's antagonized howl. Yet the call was followed by a horrified scream from Rarity as the creature's scorched wounds spewed out a torrent of black slime before cauterizing. In the flashes of the frantic light show, the white mare could be seen toppling back from the thrashing beast as the black substance coated her left side almost entirely. Meanwhile, the creature's painful shrieks became angry hisses as its glowing frill flared and flickered, allowing it to magically blink free of the trap and come charging right at Twilight and Starlight. Stuck between the invisible beast and the screams of their friend, both mares were caught completely off guard. Starlight fell to the floor by instinct as the flickering beast smacked Twilight and Spike aside with a set of massive clawed limbs.
Well, here we go again. Now it's on Rarity. What is that black stuff for real? Like, it's like every little ounce of that little black stuff is alive. It's... Well, onto the death wagon we go.
The whole creature passed right over them in a rapid retreat, before it disappeared across the wall and snaked back into the darkness with an angry fit of hissing clicks.
And you know, the fact of the matter is, they dropped a giant pillar on this bitch. Didn't even phase him a little bit. He still had enough strength to get out of the trap and jump over them and run into the darkness. Pinkie Pie's gonna be a proud pony. Walter's becoming a strong boy.
Starlight opened her eyes to see Twilight lift her head, forehead and horn marred by a deep gash as blood ran down her face. Spike sat up behind her, thankfully less injured as she shook his head. All Starlight could think was that she was alive, dazed, but alive. The same could not be said for their screaming friend, however. Both ponies shot up as fast as they could and looked down at the remains of the fallen pillar. Applejack was even quicker to rush to Rarity's side, and without thought, Starlight levitated herself down to join her. The moment she did so, she couldn't help but regret it as she looked in horror at Rarity writhing on the floor. Applejack cautiously crept around her struggling friend's far side, careful to avoid the dark glue slowly eating away at her. All Rarity did was scream and call out to go home like a terrified foal. "Pas Celestia! Pas Celestia! Pas Celestia!" Applejack called frantically as she dragged the unicorn away from the bubbling pool of black liquid and did her best to remain calm. Rarity's thrashing made that very difficult. Then, finally, Starlight shook her head free of the initial terror and jumped forwards. "The raincoat! Take it off! Most of the stuff went on that," she instructed, magic gripping the untouched side of the purple attire as Applejack cautiously took it in her hooves. "Now hold still, Rarity. Just hold still." The farm pony tried to be reassuring, but the blackness sank in. Rarity only convulsed more and more. Then she screamed as the fused half of the raincoat peeled away from her skin like sticky toffee. Just like with Pinkie Pie, the stuff was quickly beginning to spread across her body, twisting her limbs into grotesque sores and blisters as she squirmed. "Applejack, stop! Please stop! Rarity began, her screams racked by a fit of wet gasps and gags. "It hurts! I just want—" No, Rarity. You just stay there. Don't worry. You're gonna get through this, and you're gonna get home. Y'all gonna go back to Ponyville and see your little sister and every pony else. I promise," Applejack said, her tone more than a desperate plea than a...
Those words are so... That's sad. That's fucked up. I knew something was gonna go wrong. That's messed up.
Promise.
That's messed up.
Darn it, Starlight.
Do that
Help
to
me. We need to move her. Starlight's magical grip on the raincoat began to slip, just as it had done before, and she was just forced to let go and watch it sink into the slimy black bubble that one half of her friend was quickly becoming. She struggled to keep herself from vomiting at the horrific sight as Rarity began to thrash even more, black goo bubbling up her limbs as it slowly fused her to the floor. Crying, Applejack could do nothing but move the unicorn as far from the goo as possible, all the while avoiding getting any of it on her own coat, lest she meet the same sticky fate. Moments later, the sound of hoof steps sounded behind the pair as twilight finally approached. The alicorn froze the moment she saw her slowly decaying friend. Then she jumped to Applejack's aid, only to pause again as a distinctively wet hiss echoed in the gloom. Applejack, we have to get out of here. That thing still knows we're here, and it knows some pony's injured, Twilight said frantically. No. Please, don't leave me, Rarity begged. I'd never even considered it, Rarity. I promise, Twilight assured her, as did Applejack. Get back, Applejack. Starlight, help me lift her. You're gonna have to use those 2 legs, Rarity, Twilight quickly added, as both she and Starlight braved the poisonous slime to reduce the unicorn's weight, just enough for her to stagger with only 2 legs. We need to get her out of here, back to Ponyville Hospital or Zecora. Any pony that can help, Twilight stated firmly before motioning for everyone to move on. All the while, the distinct light of their attacker flashed in the gloom as it steadily stalked them. Twilight was right about one thing. It knew where they were, and it was hunting them with a newfound rage. The fact that Rarity could move no more than a few hoof steps at a time as the slime slowly began to eat away at her legs and spread across her body didn't help. Eventually, she was begging the rest of them to stop. I can't do it. I just want to go home, to my dresses, to Sweetie Belle. She murmured, yet pain and exhaustion had stolen most of her voice as she began to heave and retch. Applejack looked at her friend with an expression as hard as the stone around her as Rarity slumped down against the wall. In the end, it was no pony that said anything but Spike. The baby dragon hopped down from Twilight's back and moved to the still white side of Rarity's face. Spike? My Spikey Wakey? She asked in a frail whimper, looking at him with her one good eye as a tear rolled down her quivering cheek. Then, her words were swallowed by a wet gasp and a gurgling in the back of her throat as she convulsed violently. Without thought, Twilight heaved Spike back.
Poor Spike, dude. Spike's my bro, man. You can't do that. They really did not make this fun. No fun is allowed in this story. Gotta go fast, man. Fast go gotta. Get out of there. God. They should have ran in the first place. I don't know what's going on. This is terrible.
Her magic, as the dark substance poured into Rarity's throat and began to spew outwards in a black fountain of sick bile. Every pony was forced back as the unicorn thrashed and squirmed all the more, almost as if she were trying to drag her friends into the blackness. Then there was a sudden flash, and within seconds, a neon blue coil wrapped around her neck and dragged her upwards into the darkness before any pony could react.
Oh.
Calling Rarity's name like a...
Well, we're gonna have to pause it right here until next time, but that sucks. There goes Rarity. Was Rarity Generosity? I think she was Generosity. That's... Why? It's almost as if someone made this story just to get at us with the characters, you know what I mean? And that's the beauty of horror stories and everything else, is you have to take all the elements that make it good out first. Like Pinkie Pie, for instance. and then just go into the dark. You know what I'm saying? Go into the dark and chase those characters and scare the shit out of them. And I guess that's what the fun was making this story was. And congratulations, Casino Pony. I will try to support you on fanfiction. I just don't have my own account. So if I make my own account, I'll support you on that. And also, I'll also support you, forrest McGilvray, of course, on your YouTube channel. And wherever you are, wherever you, like, whatever you, for instance, I hear people have Patreon and all that stuff. If you guys have that, I'll support it. So, but also, again, let me know what you'd be in the pony universe. Would you be Alicorn? Would you be Griffin? Or Quantaquist? Like Centaur? Anything. Just let me know. Like, you know, let me know what you would be in the My Little Pony universe. Let alone it be a horror story or just a regular fanfiction funny story or love, romantic, anything. Just let me know what it will be. And I will have to get back to you guys. And thanks again for Anonymous Chameleon for commenting. And Tempest Berry Twist for still commenting. And everybody else, thank you so much. It really means a lot to me. And I'll keep making videos. I'm going to try and post one again before I leave for work today. Which will probably most likely be 7. Because I usually work at 7, so we'll have plenty of time. But I gotta go to the store. I gotta get me some new shoes. I gotta get me some new pants because my pants are starting to get holes in it. And every time I clean them, now it's starting to like make more holes now that I'm cleaning it. So I think the pants are finally starting to wear down. And of course some new attire. But I will try to get back to you when I can, very, very soon, and post another video of Flicker. And this had been chapter 13 of, or no, not chapter 13, chapter 4, part 13. Forgive me for that, I always do that. And we left off on 44. That's where we left off. So it's just a reminder of myself, so that way when I'm posting, I can remember what to put on the video. But thank you so much, guys, for commenting. And also, Anonymous Chameleon likes Cerberts. If you guys could also still let me know what candy you like, that'd be awesome. And mine would be Hershey's. Even though it's a 1909 candy, I'd have to go with Hershey's or Milky Way. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and I'll see you later.